Okay, so early on in the process of this course, I want to talk about a complete process of making some kind of business. And I thought the best way to start is the course of an artist. And that is because an artist is oftentimes a product and a service at the same time. You know, so you're an artist and you're creating work that comes from deep in your heart. The truth is, if you really want to provide for yourself, if you really want to dedicate yourself to this art full time, you're going to need to put food on the table. And so you need to recognize that just like if you make a product or if you're doing a service, even such as financial management or babysitting, you still need to make a business plan, establish a process that you're going to follow, and then follow through with it. So there are some steps that will help you get started. And you know, just like with any other product, it's know your target market. It's not creating your portfolio first. First is understanding who's going to receive the work that you're putting out. It may not feel genuine from your heart, but if you really want to be a functioning long-term artist who lives off this, you need to think about what your audience is or will be, or why they will like what you're doing. You know, what do they need? How will you fill it? How will you provide for it? Can you provide for it? You know, so and other questions you can ask yourself is what is the age group of your target market? What is the demographic? You know, where do they live? How do they feel? What are their life experiences like? Why do they buy art? You know, what hobbies or styles are they familiar with? You know, it's what type of buyers understand your work that you feel is genuine to you. So, you know, you determine who they are and you determine who the ideal customer is for you, and then this is something that you must bridge. You know, and what type of marketing would reach out to them best? If you're a musician, maybe you want to use the SoundCloud online forum platform, or if you're an artist, maybe Instagram is best for you. Probably Instagram is best for you no matter what kind of art you do, but some type of artists will lean on, for instance, Instagram and their photograph-based format a little bit more heavily. You know, and remember that not all customers are created equal. They need to think about, you know, not everyone is going to be interested in what you're doing, and that's okay. So you get to know your marketplace as well. You get to know your competitors. If you're a painter, who else is painting in your local community? Who's going to be competing for gallery space and event time and the interest of the media in your local community or in your larger community, like your country? You know, and creating good art is not enough to create a viable business. It has to be based on business principles, which is I'm creating something that people want, and I'm marketing it properly, and I have a team of people around me who can carry it that extra distance. You know, then the third step after you've done your market research and you've considered your customer is to make your base portfolio. This is based on what you know the demand is. You create a collection of works that fills it, that rises up to that. And you know, from there you develop a simple business plan, your mission statement, your vision statement, your goals. You know, and then you're going to have to really get into the truth of it. So what is your expenses? What is your budget? What sort of funding do you have? Or what sort of funding can you get? And you got to price your work for profit. And I know for a lot of artists it's sort of degrading to think about, I need to make money from what I do. But you also need to eat, and that is an undeniable truth. So regularly review your sales process. You know, where is your art being represented? Where can you find it? How good is your relationship with, for instance, if you're a painter, let's say, how good is your relationship with gallery owners? How good is your relationship with the media, you know, local journalists who also have social media, who also are on Twitter or Instagram, who will say yay or nay to the work that you're doing. You know, you don't want to manipulate them, but it's probably a good idea to be on good terms with them. There will be a need to do some legal work, trademarks, copyrights, this sort of thing. It's just like with inventing something, you know, having a dated timestamp on your work will demonstrate that it was yours. But this is also why it's important to know what other people are doing, because maybe you do have some original inspiration, but it's not so unlike what already exists, and you're going to be accused of copying it. This happens in the music industry quite often. You write a song, and then there's some lawyer somewhere who owns some obscure song who sort of sounds like yours, and they sue you and take a majority of the profits away that you've earned from all this promotion that you've done. You really got to be careful with that. So, you know, doing what you can to make it legal, and it's probably a good idea to have an entertainment lawyer, no matter what kind of artist you are. An entertainment lawyer will know people in the industry. They will know best practices. They will know how to protect you in the instances of many problems, and you want to get them on board early. I almost considered getting an entertainment lawyer to be the most important step, but it's really up to you and your budget. So then you got to brand your business. It's more than just the art that you create. It's the consistency of your social media, your business cards, your website, the messaging you use, the colors you use, whatever logos you choose to employ. And you want each of those things, your messaging, your color scheme, your logo, your photograph style, you want that to complement the art that you're actually focusing it around. So it's important to have a coherent vision of you know, the business that surrounds your artwork and not just the artwork. And it's branding. It's, you know, unique elements that tell a unique story that relate, and people want to see the environment from which the art comes from. So, you know, documenting your journey is a really good idea, you know, along the way. It's so easy to take pictures. It's so easy to make little, you know, voice recordings and, you know, little videos that you can share even in live that draw attention to the deeper work that you're creating. I've always thought it's so funny that bands will create 10 songs and then spend 3 years going around singing the same songs, when probably they could write a new song every day. But that's not how it works. You have to perform them, you have to practice them, they must be recorded, they must be promoted. It's not just being a songwriter, it's a business of music. So then, you know, you want to create unique fan opportunities, galleries, concerts, shows, you know, stay up with your social media. Offer your work through sales forums. If you're an artist, there is upscale forums where you can post your art. If you're a fashion designer, you want to do your best. Maybe even have a friend help you contact journalists specifically. You want to make sure journalists know about your work so that they can make sure that the public knows about your work. Actively promote. You know, your social media is key, but you want to do the work to build your social media. And you know, high quality events don't just populate themselves, and so this all kind of works together. You know, make it easy for your fans to connect with you. Answer your messages, respond to your comments. You know, generally take on an attitude of gratitude towards the people who make this life possible for you while they go to very difficult works. And while this art that you're creating makes their life better, they definitely can make your life better too. You know, and you know, you want to wait for connections to turn into customers. A deft hand, because this is the emotions industry. Art isn't just, you know, gears turning in an engine. It is people's emotions. So you want to have a sort of a subtle touch to calling the public to accept what you do. And that's something you're going to have to learn for yourself based on your own region and the type of work you're doing and the type of people you want to get involved. But just be sensitive to it. And then, nurture the customers you already have. It's a lot cheaper to keep the customers you have than to go out and find new ones. And repeat business is key. So you want to, show them appreciation. Maybe if you have customers on a mailing list, create some unique art just for them. Do giveaways and contests and things that show the people who are already involved that you recognize them. If you're an artist, it's about a relationship. And then, this is a process that you will constantly repeat. So you prepare your work, you promote it, but it's not before determining who is involved on the receiving end. And if you're good enough, you will make it, but if you make it properly, you'll make it a lot further.